Yeah, Dana, good morning. We're just getting this in right now. On Iranian state media, a presenter read a new statement from Iran's new supreme leader, Mojtaba Khamenei, and Reuters is reporting a few highlights from those remarks, saying that the supreme leader said in the statement, "We believe in friendship with neighbors and only target the bases, and we will inevitably continue." That is not true. We know that many Gulf countries have had their residential and civilian infrastructure attacked. Now, Iran's new supreme leader in this statement goes on to say all U.S. bases should immediately be closed in the region, and those bases will be attacked. He also says in the statement, again, that was presented on state media, he does not appear in the statement, that he calls on unity among the people of Iran and participation in Quds Day. Now, Quds is the Arabic word for Jerusalem, and this day normally falls on the last Friday of Ramadan. And so, if my math is correct here, that would be March 20th of this year, the last Friday of Ramadan, when traditionally we have seen Iranian proxies like Hamas and Hezbollah launch attacks and also large demonstrations in the region. And so this is certainly something to look out for in the days ahead. But again, this is the first statement that we are receiving from Iran's new supreme leader, Mojtaba Khamenei. He speaks about the attacks on Gulf countries, also says that he will target U.S. bases in the region, and then also talks about the Strait of Hormuz. This is an interesting part here. And again, we are just getting these highlights from Reuters, watching state media in Iran. They're first coming out, of course, in Farsi. And Iran's new supreme leader goes on to say the closure of the Strait of Hormuz should be continued as a tool to, quote, pressure the enemy. And so the rhetoric that we are hearing from Iran's new supreme leader is quite similar to his father's rhetoric. Remember, Iran's former supreme leader was taken out in the opening strikes of Operation Epic Fury when this war began. And in those opening strikes, Mojtaba Khamenei's wife, mother, and one son were also killed. Again, the latest remarks, though, that we are getting from the supreme leader via state media, and we are quoting Reuters here, indicate that he will continue ordering the attacks on U.S. bases in the region and continue efforts to close the Strait of Hormuz. Bill, Dana?
And Trey, as you pointed out, Iran's new supreme leader said that Iran has, quote, warm relations with Gulf countries. I'm curious, how do you think those Gulf countries are going to react to hearing that, considering Iran is droning and missiling them every day?
Yeah, I've been speaking with Gulf leadership and sources over the past 2 weeks, and I would not describe the current relations as warm between these two countries. Not only Qatar, but the UAE, Kuwait, and Bahrain have all come under Iranian ballistic missile and drone fire in recent days. And while the Iranians have attacked U.S. bases in the region, they have also attacked civilian infrastructure and energy infrastructure, including Omani energy infrastructure. We showed you those images earlier this hour of an oil storage facility in Oman burning as a result of an Iranian drone attack. And remember, Oman was the mediator in the negotiations that were taking place earlier this year indirectly between the Americans and the Iranians. And so the current relationships are not good between Gulf countries and the Iranian regime. And despite the fact that some communication has taken place with Iran's foreign minister reaching out to his Gulf counterparts, these attacks against Gulf countries do continue.
Trey, yesterday, even on the 5, we were saying, is there proof of life that we could get that this guy is still alive? There are reports also that he was injured. Do you know anything more about that?
Yeah, I spoke with an Israeli intelligence official in recent days who indicated Mojtaba Khamenei is injured. They downplayed the reports, though, that he was critically injured, saying that he was injured in one of the strikes, the opening strikes of Operation Epic Fury, again, that killed his wife, his father, of course, and one son. As we look forward here, though, it will be interesting to see if and when we actually see Mojtaba Khamenei. We've not yet seen him. Of course, there have been posters and images circulating in the Iranian capital of Tehran. But this statement today, where he speaks about the ongoing war against the United States and Israel, was made through a presenter on state media.